Kuna Matata, and welcome back to the Cozy Club. Lion King has made its way back to Disney Sorcerer's Arena, so that means we got ourselves one thing, and that's going to be the complete in-depth guide to the Lion King. Alright, so hopefully one day we're going to see some Nala, Pumbaa, and Timon love, but currently we have Simba, Rafiki, and Scar in-game. If you joined me on Twitch last week, we had a fun time voting for the top Disney movie, and guess what won? The Lion King, my friends, and you know what? I would have voted for that too. That or Aladdin had my vote. Happy to see Lion King win. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and drop the description down below. If you guys want to join an awesome community filled with people that love DSA and just talking about Disney and just cool people in general, we have great times on Tuesday, Thursdays, sometimes Fridays, and Sunday nights. You guys join us, and we'll see you there. All right, now before we start off the video today, a couple things. Just now, as I was filming this video, the Sorcerer Stones are dropping to DSA, which means a lot of new changes with being able to bump up critical damage, offense, speed, defense. There's a lot that can happen. We'll talk about it briefly in this video, just talking about what stones you might want to use on Lion King characters. If you guys are looking for the complete Sorcerer Stone guide, I'm probably going to get that out Saturday. I'd like to get my hands on it. You can join me on stream once again if you want to see some early testing with it. But look out for Saturday morning, as I should have a video for you guys. All right, let's go ahead and start out with the king of the jungle himself, and that's going to be Simba. Now, Simba is the truest form of what a tank should be in a game like this. If you faced him before, you know he's as annoying as it gets to face, mainly because of that passive, which we'll talk about in just a second. All right, so Simba is a plug and play type of tank. You can put him on a lot of teams. I've seen him plug in with the Frozen team, the Incredibles, just as a fifth in general, because he doesn't really need other people to do his job well. All right, now starting off with his basic royal roughhousing, he's going to go ahead and swipe at the enemy. You're going to have a 30% chance to reduce the target's turn meter by 30%. And guys, let me tell you, 30% is a good chunk of change to get away from the enemy. Again, Simba's not going to do a lot of raw offensive power. He's kind of there to be tanky, take the hits, and then also crowd control a little bit and slow down the enemy, put on some debuffs, and then also heal up himself. All right, next up, we're going to look at Simba's first ability, slash Pumbaa's in Downwind Dash. And what this is going to do is you're going to have Pumbaa race across the screen, dash across the screen, and do offense down to all flanking enemies. Also, you're going to go ahead and get, a little bit of damage out there. On top of this, you're going to have the complete ability to get rid of 30% turn meter on the entire flanking row. Now, if you guys want me to do a video on flanking, positioning, all of that kind of confusing talk about abilities and who they hit, let me know down in the comments. Would love to get that out there to you guys. All right, next up, we got a Kuna Matata, and that's going to be Simba's main healing slash taunting ability. And what this is going to do is you're going to heal the flanking allies around you compared to the defense that you have. So the lower health that Simba has, his passive is going to activate. He already has very high defense, and this is going to make his healing around his teammates pretty decent. Healing, again, isn't great in this game, but for what it's worth, Simba can do additional healing with the higher defense that he has. All right, now looking at his passive, this is what makes Simba not only annoying, but also really, really good in the same sense of the word. If he didn't have this, he really would be lacking in his kit. Essentially, for each 1% of missing health that he has, he's going to gain 4% defense. He already has very high defense, right? So if you go ahead and miss 90% of his health, he only has 10% of his health left. He's going to get a 360% increase on his defense, making him go through the roof. He's going to get close to 2,000 defense once he gets to the end, and that's why you're going to see those 1 damages hitting a lot. Now, the higher offensive characters you have, you are going to be able to blow through this eventually, but still, it's pretty crazy once you see how high the king of the jungle can get his defense. All right, now a quick note on countering this, just in case you want to know, you can go ahead and get continuous damage on Simba. Something like Wild Imagination is going to shut him down, because for the main part, it's going to ignore the defense, and it's going to go ahead and hit true damage, and you'll kill him off faster that way. Plus, you have the heal block. Alrighty, now looking at his abilities, again, you're going to want to get that passive up the first thing, right? You're going to want to go ahead and get the 1% missing health 4% increasing defense. That's the first thing you want to get. Then go ahead, slap on some abilities onto his basic, reducing turn meter. And then, of course, you want to make the Pumbaa dash as good as possible. So you want to go ahead and upgrade that to get the reduction in speed turn meter. Now, when using Simba, it's kind of tough to decide what ability you need to do. And you need to look at who you're facing to pick exactly what you want to do. He has a taunt, which most tanks, you want to whip out that taunt right away. However, if you're kind of losing the speed turn meter battle, you can go ahead, use his ability to get rid of 30% speed turn meter like Aladdin and giving yourself a little bit more of an edge. By the time Simba goes, everyone's going to already have gone most likely before him, but this is good to kind of slow down the battle. And then by that time, you can go ahead, get his taunt up, and you'll be good to go. All right, now lastly, looking at his stats, Simba, well... he's not exactly an offensive powerhouse. He's got one of the lowest offensive stats in the game. Again, that's not why you're using Simba, right? He's there to take the hits, to get crowd control out, and help his allies around him. But looking at his defense, he's got the 4th highest defense within the game, and you're really going to start to notice that. And technically, once Simba gets hit just a little bit, he's going to have the highest defense in the game quite quickly, and it doesn't even come close. Throw a defensive Sorcerer Stone on him when those do come out here in just a bit, and you're going to have yourself a tanky tank. Now, looking at speed, it is a little bit sad. He's at 101, which is near the bottom, and that's pretty slow for Simba. In fact, all the Lion King characters could be a little bit faster, but that's besides the point. And looking at health, he's going to have 22,672 health, which is very high, one of the highest in the game. Simba is solid in PvP. He's pretty good in PvE. And again, guys, with you needing wilds, he's going to be great to throw into that Sorcerer's Trial that is coming out tomorrow. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to my favorite character in Lion King, and that's going to be the rightful, well, he thinks he should be rightful, King of the Jungle, and that is Scar. All right, so looking at Scar, you guys already know he gets a lot of love on this channel. He's great in tower, does good in PvE and PvP. However, let's look at his moves and his abilities. Now, first looking at Vicious Slash. This thing's going to be a great basic, and you're going to be using it a lot. The reason why is he's going to be assisting a lot in battle. What it's going to do is do some just basic damage, but if he's stealthed, it's going to go ahead and put continuous damage on the enemy, guaranteed. I find it really fun that Scar has kind of the counter to Simba built into his basic. It's kind of a fun callback to the movies, and I love seeing stuff like that within the game. All right, now moving on to Cinder Swipe, you're going to go ahead and throw a dust ball onto the target that you're looking at. And the thing is, you're going to go ahead and blind that target. You also have a 50% chance to get defensive down. Now, built into his kit, he's going to do additional things with blind, so it's nice that he can kind of set himself up for success. All right, now moving on to the next ability, it's going to be the thing that really makes Scar stand out in both PvE and PvP, and that's going to be his Hyena Summoning. Be prepared. You know, those annoying hyenas from the movies. I wish the crazy one was able to sometimes get called. I think that'd be pretty funny. They're going to be able to do a pretty good amount of damage at 1,181 when maxed, and they have 3,600 health. Now, that's not too much health looking at the Frozen Trolls and Jasmine's Raja. However, they don't really need health as they're going to continually assist allies when they're attacking opponents with continuous damage, which is why Scar is so good to pair up with Wild Imagination or Hades, right? We get all that continuous damage on the field, and his hyenas are really going to start attacking and acting ravenous and getting that damage out there. And overall, they're a pretty good summonable unit. They probably do the most attack as far as summonable units go, and they're probably ranked 1 or 2 when it comes to looking at them as a whole. Trolls are great, but you really don't get them out there too much. And Raja, well, Raja probably takes number 1. All right, now looking at his passive, Long Live the King. Love the callback again. This is really what is going to make Scar keep on pumping out that damage. And what happens is, whenever a teammate attacks with a basic attack, he's going to have a 20% chance to go ahead and deal 533 damage up to 4 times. Plus, he has a 20% bonus critical strike chance if the target is affected by blind. Also, he's going to have a 20% critical chance up if the opponent has blind. And this is what's nice because he's going to go ahead and throw that dust ball, get the blind up. And it's nice because this also stacks with, if he has stealth, he's going to have his basic give continuous damage. And this all kind of adds up together. Now, this isn't technically his basic. It's kind of a separate ability. But what it's going to do is he's going to keep on going out there and assisting your teammates. Now, what's cool about this is over a 20% chance, he's going to have a 50% chance to do this if it's another Lion King character. So if you have him with Simba, you do get some great creative options out there. However, the cool thing and something I wanted to point out is I've been using this team with Sven, Kristoff, Simba, Scar, and then you can put whoever else there. Hades works well, or some other plug-and-play characters. But what happens is every time that Sven has a chance to proc and assist, like the bucket of soldiers that we talked about in the Sven guide, you're going to have also Scar help out as well. So again, even though Sven isn't his turn going, he's going to help out Sven with that basic, Kristoff as well, and Sven will be called, and then also sometimes you'll get Scar, and it's pretty cool to keep on seeing Scar finish off the opponents. Now, I love Scar. He's great to plug in with a Wilds team. He can be in a continuous damage team. He was my first 7-star actually, and he helped me tremendously in Tower 5. All right, now looking at Scar's stats, he's going to have 1,447 offense, and now he's 14th highest offense in the game, and that's a pretty good amount of offense considering he's going to be attacking a lot and assisting a lot. And overall, Scar does have some decent, solid stats. Next up, he's going to have 356 defense, and well, it's a little underwhelming. He's going to be getting hit pretty hard, but that's okay because the main point of him is to get the hyenas out, get him under stealth, protect him so that he can do damage through assist and staying hidden and tricky to hit, just like in the movies. Now, he has the 8th highest speed in the game at 112 speed, a pretty solid speed. It's not high enough to really be used in the top end of meta, but you should find places for him throughout Conquest and any other game modes that come out. Throw an offense or speed stone on him and he's going to get even better. Throwing a speed stone on him should get him competitive enough to be able to use in your main teams. All right, now looking at his health, he's going to have 14,401 health. And, you know, that's on the lower end of the spectrum. However, that's expected from these attacking characters. Again, we've talked about it. He's going to be hiding behind the other characters and staying in stealth. So the health and the defense don't matter as much for Scar. All right, now looking at his abilities, we went ahead and got this image out about 2 weeks ago in the abilities guide. But you're going to want to first upgrade his Be Prepared ability. Now, it's going to take some alpha runes, but again, this is what you're going to want to go ahead and upgrade first. Follow this with both ability upgrades to Vicious Slash, and then go ahead and get the Long Live the King passive finished up. And then you're going to want to upgrade Cinder Swipe. Now, the first ability upgrade just costs 50 alpha runes, so it's not the worst upgrade to get up once, but that last upgrade, go ahead and wait until you finished up the rest of his kit to give him that. All right, now we're going to move on to Rafiki, and well, I'm trying to find some nice stuff to say about Rafiki. He's currently not that great at the moment. He's going to go ahead and have some lower end stats. He's going to have offense at 960. Now, that's lower than Simba, and it's not great, guys. He's not really there to get offense out, but regardless, not a high offensive stat. His defense is the 7th highest in the game at 393, which, you know, isn't too bad as far as defense goes. Speed now is 91. Which 91, if you guys don't know, if your speed is in the double digits and not the triple digits, the character's slow and you're not going to see him go a lot. Now, wrapping up, he's going to have 14,806 health. He may be able to heal a lot of people, but for himself, his health isn't really there. Right now, his basic correction is going to do some damage, and then you're going to have a 10% chance to hit again. Now, if they want to buff Rafiki, I think they should go ahead and make this about a 50% chance, maybe 75% chance to attack again. Kind of like in the movies when he's taking down all the hyenas. Maybe something fun to add multiple hits so that Rafiki can be viable again, or again, just buff up his healing. Now, his next attack is going to be Don't Dawdle, and this is a little bit better. You're going to have a stun, which you can find some use for this in Tower or in the support ability challenge. Things like that. We're really stretching to find use for Rafiki. I think one way that they can get him better is he has a 10% to do an extra attack at both the end of his basic and this ability. Maybe bump that up to 50, 70% to really buff up his viability in general in DSA. All right, then we're going to go on to Restoring Balance, which is a nice callback to the movies. And pretty much you're going to go ahead and cleanse harmful effects from one target and do healing to that target. You're going to do more healing the more effects that you go ahead and cleanse. If the target is also Simba, he's going to get his cooldowns reduced by 1. Now, last up, he's got his passive Wise Move, and what this is going to do is he has a 15% chance to reduce any allies' cooldowns by just a little bit. And now, if this is a Lion King character, in addition, he's going to also buff up their speed tier meter by 30%. And as stones are just now coming out, a good stone to go on Rafiki. I wouldn't waste too many stones on him, but I would put the recovery stone on him. It's going to have him do even more healing. He can't really have enough stones to help his speed or his attack out. He's just too far gone in those stat categories, but a recovery stone is not a bad choice for Rafiki. As for abilities with Rafiki, I really wouldn't waste any ability mats on him currently. Even his ability upgrades don't add much to his abilities. You still get the stun without upgrading it, so then just leave him alone. All right, I want to go ahead and thank you guys so much for coming over to the Cozy Club, learning more about these Lion King characters. Again, we're going to have that Sorcerer Stone video coming to you Saturday. Guys, if you don't like the club or community that you're in already, I just want to let you know there's still about 15 to 20 spots available in the in-game Cozy Club. Yes, I'm on the Disney Titans myself. However, I do love engaging with this Cozy Club. They have an amazing leader and they do gym giveaways, which is awesome. The leader and me talk consistently. Really great guy. If you guys want to find more details about that, go ahead and look in the comments below. Again, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video as it does support the channel, and I will see you guys on Saturday next time right here at the Cozy Club.